Hello, Power Partners. Welcome. This is the informational playground, Starstyle, Be the Star You Are, brought to the airwaves under the auspices of Be the Star You Are charity. I am Cynthia Brian, your host, and we're coming to you on the Voice America Media, the Empowerment Channel. Well, happy April Fools. I'd like to play some kind of trick on you, but I'm not good at that kind of stuff. So I decided I'm just not going to do it. But we're going to talk about April Fools today in segment one. So it's tuned in for that because it dates back over 400 years and it really is a chance to have good mischief, being a day of jokes and pranks. But I don't know how to pull off these silly hoaxes or falsehoods. But in segment two, we're going to talk about something that I always enjoy, and that is taking a shower. Is it better to shower in the morning or the evening? How hot should the water be? How long should you indulge in the process? Are you wasting water? Do you have a bucket in the shower? We're going to talk about, I know it's a little crazy, but it's April Fool's, so it'll be fun. The miracle moment for today brought to you by Be the Star You Are charity. Visit bethestaryouare.org. And just to let you know, check out our events because we have an Earth Day celebration we're going to be doing on April 25th with 5A Rent a Space. It's under events at bethestaryouare.org. And this is from Alfred Lord Tennyson. Come, my friend, it's not too late to seek a newer world. We are one equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. You'll have to figure out what all of that means. Well, we're going to give you a little bit of history about April Fool's Day, and then I will give you a few kind of the witty and wise, some things that have happened in the past, because it does occur every year on April 1st, and it has been celebrated for many centuries by different cultures. Its exact origins are still a mystery, and it is a time of, people play jokes on others, people yell April Fools. Supposedly you can get pinched. Now, what the origins, according to history and historians, they speculate that it dates back to about 1582 when France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, and that was called for by the Council of Trent in 1563. Now, in the Julian calendar, just like the Hindu calendar, the new year always began with the spring equinox around April 1st. So people who were slow to get the news or failed to recognize that the start of the new year had moved to January 1st, they would continue to celebrate it during the last week of March and the first week of April. And because they did that, they became known as April Fools. So you were a fool if you were celebrating it then. That's what it meant because everybody else was celebrating January 1st. And pranks included having paper fish placed on their backs. And they actually, people in France called them poissons d'avril, which means April fish, not fools, April fish. And it was said to symbolize a young, easily caught fish and a gullible person. So poisson d'avril means gullible person. Now, historians also link April Fool's Day to festivals such as Hilaria, which means Latin for joyful, and that was celebrated in ancient Rome at the end of March. And it had followers from the cult of Cybele. And it involved people dressing up in disguises, mocking fellow citizens, and even magistrates. They would mock them. And it was inspired by the Egyptian legend of Isis and Seth. There's also speculation that April Fool's Day was tied to the vernal equinox, which is the first day of spring in the Northern Hemisphere, which we celebrated a week ago or so, when Mother Nature fooled people with changing unpredictable weather. And talking about unpredictable weather, the entire month of March here in Northern California was hot. I mean, we were in the 90s, got up to 98 which for March is really hot. And San Francisco had its hottest day ever in March in history. And I can't remember if that was 98 or 94, but it was one of those two. In any case, it was in the 90s. So it has been crazy. And then today it's raining. So who knows? We have these really hot days, and now the 1st of April, we get rain. But of course, what does it say? April showers bring May flowers. Now, April Fool's Day did spread throughout Britain during the 18th century, and in Scotland, the tradition became actually a 2-day event, starting with hunting the gawk, in which people were sent on phony pretend errands. A gawk is actually another word for the cuckoo bird, and the cuckoo bird, as we know, is a symbol of a fool. And then that was followed by Tally Day, which involved pranks played on people's bottoms, on their derriere. They would pin fake tails or kick me signs on them. So I guess, throughout history, we've always been obsessed with making jokes about our backsides. Now, in modern times, though, people really go to great lengths to create elaborate April Fool's Day hoaxes. Newspapers, radio, TV stations, websites, all kinds of media and people participate in that April 1st tradition of reporting outrageous fictional claims, and it has really fooled their audiences. So I'm going to give you a few things of those. Now, the BBC in 1957 reported that Swiss farmers were experiencing a record spaghetti crop and showed footage of people harvesting noodles from trees. Now, what I want to say about the funny thing about these April Fool's things that the media has done is that people believed it, and that is what's so crazy. In 1985, Sports Illustrated writer George Plimpton, he tricked a lot of readers because he ran this made-up article about a rookie pitcher named Sid Finch who could throw a fastball over 168 miles per hour. And we laugh at that today because we just call it a false pitch. But people actually did believe it again. In 1992, NPR, National Public Radio, ran a spot with former President Richard Nixon saying he was running for president again. And again, but it was really only an actor. It wasn't really Nixon. And the segment was an all-day April Fool's Day prank. And it really caught the country by surprise. In 1996, I'm going to give you 3 hamburger places or fast food places because I thought these were pretty funny. In 1996, Taco Bell, which is that fast food restaurant chain, it told people that it had agreed to purchase Philadelphia's Liberty Bell or America's Liberty Bell, the original Liberty Bell, and they renamed it the Taco Liberty Bell. In 1998, Burger King took out a full-page ad. I love this one in USA Today explaining that Southpaws could order a lefty Whopper with condiments rotated 180 degrees, creating a left-handed taste. Now, who would believe that? But scores of clueless customers requested the fake sandwich. But not to be outdone, McDonald's restaurants in Australia announced the McPickle Burger. This was in 2009, 9 or 19? I think 19, 2019. And they called it a juicy, flavorsome pickles layered between, let's see, melted cheese, ketchup, special sauce, and also on a sesame seed bun. And again, people asked for it. And of course, there wasn't anything like that. Then, what other ones do we have? Google hosted an annual April Fool's Day prank that has included everything from telepathic searches to the ability to play Pac-Man on Google Maps. And, for the average trickster, there's always the classic April Fool's Day prank of covering the toilet with plastic wrap or swapping the contents of sugar and salt containers. Both of those just are terrible. But I have even some more. So, um, the first documented April Fool's prank that took place in London was in 1698. And a Brit announced a special event at the Tower of London. And it was, quote, "See the lions washed." There wasn't any public cleansing of jungle cats, but the announcement drew thousands of people to watch lions get washed. And there, of course, there were no lions. Now, in 1796, the earliest recorded American April Fool's prank took place in Middletown, Connecticut, where a handbill promised a marketplace for fools' coats, and it said that that people should just bring their coats of various colors. They wanted yellow to be predominant, with lots of tins and bells and tassels. I have no idea what happened with that one. Then now this one isn't so long ago, and it was in 1974, and it really is an explosive prank. So there were residents of Sitka, Alaska. I've been there. I don't know how many of you have been there, but they awoke to see smoke rising from Mount Edgecombe. Officials responded to a possible volcanic eruption, but what it really was a group of people had piled hundreds of tires and greasy rags in the crater, set them on fire, and then they spray painted April Fools on the snow below it. That's pretty good, isn't it? Um, oh, another English one. This one's pretty funny too. It was 1980. And the magazine of the British Army reported that its guards' fur helmets, the English guards, they have those big black, hairy helmets. I mean, I love their uniforms actually. But anyway, they reported that the guards' fur helmets needed trimming because the bear pelts were so thick that the hair continued to grow. And this was written in the London Daily Express. And they reprinted the prank story as fact. And it suggested a bear hormone could be used as a baldness cure. Oh, I don't know how many people went out hunting for a bear. Let's see. I have another one. Um, in 2001, for earth-shattering impact, a few pranksters can beat the British DJs who said that there was a replica of Titanic, that it could be seen from the cliffs of Beachy Head and East Sussex. So crowds flocked to view the made-up ship, and then the fragile cliffs cracked, and then they later crumbled. I don't know if anyone was hurt. I hope not. I hope not. Um, let's go to Australia. In 2019, Audi, Australia, announced a Bee-tron, a vehicle that would run on honey. Bee like in bee buzz tron. And they said it was a sustainable, naturally acquired fuel harvested from Robina flowers in Bavaria. The car included an onboard toaster for sweet morning treats. And people thought it was real. They thought that was a good idea. And in 2015, America has spoken, and we at Continental, which is a toilet paper company, have listened. And they read an announcement, and they said they now have a toilet paper for lefties. So there's a couple of lefty jokes that are there on April Fools. So plenty of April Fools jokes for you to think about. I can't think of anything to do because I mean, I'll laugh at other people's, but I don't know. I don't know what to do for April Fools. So there you have it. Well, you're listening to Cynthia Brian on April Fool's Day. I guess I could say I'm somebody else. Yeah, I could do that. This is Star Style, Be the Star You Are. We're coming to you on, oh, well, I'll say the British media. No, that's not true. That's not funny. We're coming to you on Voice America, but we are around the world. So I hope you're tuning in. I'll be back in a bit. Stay tuned. Are you ready to grow your business? Well, here are some tips that experts agree can help make this happen. Number one, the business is only able to grow as fast as your people grow. Two, work hard on growing your people. When you increase their capacity, you increase the impact of their performance. Three, decide what you want to be, the best in the world, or focus your energy on it. Four, strategically look at what is working for you and do more of it, and stop doing what isn't working. Five, make reading and personal development a major part of your daily routine. Six, work harder on yourself than on your job. Your job performance will grow as you grow. Seven, create success systems for everything you do, even the little things. You won't have to put out the same fire twice. Eight, build your business on integrity and principles. And nine, success is not only about us, but it's also about what we can do for others. So remember, you are the star of your own performance. Turn your passions into profits. I'm Cynthia Brian with another business bite from Starstyle. For more information, visit cynthiabrian.com. That's Brian with an I.com. Well, we're back. It is April Fool's Day, and you're listening to Star Style, Be the Star You Are on the Voice America Media Empowerment Channel. And this isn't an April Fool's joke, but I think it's something that we can talk about because showers are as American as apple pie, I think. I know when I first lived in Europe, when I was a teenager, there weren't many showers. You would maybe get a bath or you would get like a handheld sprayer that's over the bath, but not an actual walk-in shower that you could go to and stand and enjoy. But here in America, we tend to take lots of showers. And when I was living there, you were allowed one bathing day a week, and the rest was, like a sponge bath in a sink. So we're going to talk about whether you start your day or end your day with a shower. It's kind of like some people love starting in the morning. They can't think of any other way to start their day. They have their cup of coffee, they take their showers, and other people really like to have a warm shower before they go to bed. I happen to be one of those. I really like taking a shower at night. My husband's just the opposite. He likes to get up in the morning and take a shower. It doesn't matter what side that you're on, deciding when to take a shower is just a matter of finding what works best for you and for your lifestyle. But it is really worth considering some of the advantages to both night or morning. Now, I know some people take one in the morning and the night, and of course, depends what you're doing. If you are like when I'm working in the garden or on the farm or in the barnyard, boy, I have to take one immediately after coming in because otherwise I smell like manure. So, sometimes you'll have to take one in the morning and maybe you have to take one at night too. So, what are the advantages? There again, there's no right or wrong, but why people shower at night or when it's best to shower at night. Now, if you have dry skin, physicians indicate that individuals with dry skin should consider taking a shower before bed. And the reason for that is that skin is permeable. And the permeability is higher in the evening, and the skin will absorb moisture more effectively at night. So after you take your shower, you put some lotion on, and you will be less dry. Evening showers are also optimum on a cellular level some doctors agree because cells turn over most at night, and it makes sense to shower in the evening and moisturize, as I said, and then take full advantage of the benefits of cell regeneration. Also, most people get dirty during the day. I mean, if you're at work, you might be sweating, especially if it's in hot weather. And, if you sweat or work a lot in jobs that involve high levels of grime, garbage collectors, construction workers, landscapers, maybe you should opt for an end of the day shower and you'd have better skin health. And nighttime showers also remove, all the day's accumulated pollutants, allergens, and sweat from your skin. Um, and without that nightly cleanse, just think about it. You're spending 8 hours with all that yuck pressed against your bedding. Now, a lot of times you might have trouble falling asleep. And I find that if I take a shower in the evening, I just go right to sleep. So if you are one of those people dozes off within minutes of climbing into bed, that's fine. Bathing in warm water really does help people go to sleep quicker, whether it's a bath or a shower. Now, taking a shower will drop your core body temperature, and it's actually a signal for your body to fall into sleep more easily. And there's so many studies that show that warming the body through bathing 1 or 2 hours before bedtime improves sleep quality and helps people fall asleep about 10 minutes faster. So that's some of the pros of nighttime showering. Now, what if you really want to do it in the morning? A lot of people like it in the morning because it helps them wake up, especially you have an early job, you've got to get up at 5 and be at work at 6:30 or something. So you don't want that snooze button. So the good thing is if you start your day with a shower, it gives your body a kickstart. Morning showers can really wake you up and it can help you feel less sluggish. And the reason is the sensation caused by air on your wet skin does invigorate you. So when you step out of the shower into that cool air, or you use cool water at the end of your shower, always do that actually when you wash your hair because it closes the ends. It keeps your hair a little more shiny. It sends a message to your brain. It causes a response in the sympathetic nervous system. It's a thermosensory shock and it stimulates alertness. Now, I talked about dry skin. If you have dry skin, it's really good at night. Now, if you have oily skin, it probably makes more sense to wash in the morning because if you are acne prone or you have oily skin, um, skipping a morning cleanse, you're going to have all that body's excess sebum gets mixed with the sweat, the dead cells, and anything that's been left behind from the night before. And your clogged pores can result in whiteheads, blackheads, and even breakouts. So having a quick morning rinse or a gentle cleanse to remove all that accumulated sebum before makeup, sunscreen, and all those environmental pollutants that we're all going to get layered on top, taking that shower in the morning is really a good one. Also, if you're a person that starts your day with a workout, if you exercise in the morning, you'll want to wash the sweat off before embarking on your day. I used to hate going to PE, physical education classes, and having it first period because then I felt like, oh my gosh, you only had a few minutes to get to class and just getting dressed and all of that. I really liked taking the shower at the end of the day. So, the importance of removing that sweat and bacteria from your skin immediately after a workout is really important. And doctors say washing right away will help prevent skin conditions or any inflammation of hair follicles and acne that could be caused by heat, pressure, and friction from all that physical activity. So, purely from a practical point of view, a morning shower means not taking post-workout sweat and the associated unpleasant odors probably along for your work, errands, or whatever else the day's going to bring. So now, if you're in an area like we're in water shortages and we have limits on water. I keep a bucket in our shower and I use when any extra water I use it to water my potted plants on the decks and patios and porches and all of that. And it works out really great. And my husband has become really good at doing it too. I must admit that taking a shower was always a luxury for me. It was my time of day that I just felt so good. I don't know. I loved taking a long shower before I went to bed at night, but that doesn't happen anymore because of the water shortage. So now it's one of those things where you have to get in the shower, get wet, turn off the water, make sure that any extra water is going into the bucket, soap up, get clean, rinse off. So when you do that, you can kind of do it in the morning and at night, but that whole relaxation of a shower has gone away now because of the water shortage. But I guess I'm still grateful that I have water coming out of the spigot and I do have hot water. So that's good. But so bottom line is, what is the best time of day to shower? There's no right answer. It's whatever is better for you. It depends on your needs, it depends on your goals. Just remember that consistency is key because your body's circadian rhythm will adapt to whichever schedule you choose. So if you're going to just take them in the morning, take it in the morning. If you really get dirty during the day, take another one at night. And, if you're in an area that has water shortages, and I think the whole world is going to have a water shortage pretty soon, make sure you put that bucket in there. In any case, we're lucky to have showers and enjoy. Well, that's the show for today. Again, I wish you a happy April Fools and just happy spring. I hope that it's going to be a lovely spring and that you're enjoying all the flowers out there if you're in an area that doesn't have snow, because here our gardens, everybody's gardens are just beautiful. So make sure to be tuned in to Starstyle, Be the Star You Are, every Wednesday with me, Cynthia Brian. And of course, you can find us at any time wherever you get your podcasts. And, let's make your dreams come true. For more information about Starstyle Productions, or if you're interested in any of the books that I've written, visit cynthiabrian.com. If you want books, click on the books. You can see them and then go to the store. And if you buy them from the store, you'll get autographed copies with extra goodies. And the money goes to Be the Star You Are. And of course, you can also get them from BeTheStarYouAre.org, which is the charity that brings you this show, as well as Express Yourself Teen Radio, that you can hear every Sunday on Voice America as well. So my aim is always to encourage, inspire, inform, amuse, and motivate. See beyond your physical being. Know you are already the star you dreamed of becoming. Cherish the past, dream of the future, and celebrate every moment of your life. And if possible, read a book this week. I think you're going to find it is like a garden in your pocket. Until next week, when we play again on the Starstyle Playground, remember that love always wins, kindness always prevails, and smiles will keep us happy. I'm Cynthia Brian for Starstyle, encouraging you to be kind, inclusive, tell the truth, live with integrity, embrace cultures, love unconditionally, encourage others, be generous, read, lead, succeed, communicate, collaborate, innovate, and be your unapologetically authentic self, because everyone counts. Go out into the world and be the star you are. Again, make a prank. Happy April